January the 12th,
Hello,
2021.
everyone, and welcome. Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Rodney and Jack talking about the computer problems, as we always have some type of computer issue. In this, Jack over there, he's actually what was that television program that was on years ago? It was a movie, and everything was in slow motion. Whatever that movie was, that's what we're doing.
Jackie Gleason.
Oh, Jackie
Going
Gleason.
back a long time.
All right, let's talk about top 10 referees in professional wrestling. I'm going to start this out. Number 10, a referee that refereed in Gulf Coast Championship Wrestling, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Continental Championship Wrestling, Continental Wrestling Federation, and that would be Larry Brock, number 10 on my list. How about you, Jack?
My number 10 is James Beard. World Class.
For those of you who don't know who James Beard is, he refereed for World Class Championship Wrestling, correct?
Yep.
Did he referee for anybody else after World Class?
Worked a lot in Japan, so he's world travel.
Rodney?
I have a tie for number 10. Carl Fergie and Randy Anderson. A tag team for number 10.
Oh, okay. By the way, Carl Fergie, professional wrestler turned referee by Bill Watts. For those of you who don't, actually what happened was Bill Watts told Carl that he'd be a better referee than a wrestler.
That's not very nice, by the way.
It wasn't nice, but that's what he told him.
Well, I asked Bill Dudley what Carl's opinion of that was. He said, well, there was no job for him. He said a referee was the only opening that he had, and he said, you can make money at it. He said, give it a try. If you don't like it, you can always leave. And, so there you have it. And the rest is history. And he was probably raking it in. He was also taking the ring at the same time, many of the times. So he's probably raking it in hand over fist.
Oh, he made some good money. He was there for a long period of time. Number 9, a professional wrestling referee that refereed a lot in Florida, Georgia, Southeastern, Knoxville area. And that would be Tommy Weathers. Number 9, Tommy Weathers. All right, Jack.
I concur with you on Tommy at number 9.
Rodney?
I had David Manning at number 9.
David Manning at number 9. David. Well, by the way, David Manning, for those of you who don't know, was another world-class championship wrestling referee, but also was assistant booker many times during that time frame. Hey, Terrence, I seen your top 10 list. So tell me where it starts. Is Brian Hefner is it 10 and Tommy Young 1? I don't know which way to go, but I already told Terrence is probably his number 1 and number 10, but I just want to make sure I'm right about that, because if it is the other way, number 10 Brian Hefner, number 9 Jerry Calhoun. Brian Hefner, I don't know if I've ever seen him referee before. I'm pretty sure that's Dave's or Earl's son, right?
Yeah, Earl's, I believe.
Where does he referee at?
He was TNA for a long time. I believe he's with Impact now. I might be wrong about that, but I think he's still plying the craft.
All right, did we get everybody's number 9? I'm getting old. I'm thinking that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, I got Charles Robertson. Charles Robertson on my list. Jack?
I have Joey Marella.
Tremendous referee. I didn't even think of Joey Marella. He was so good and ended so badly because he was such a great referee. But now I will tell you this much: Gorilla Monsoon, he hated referees until his son started refereeing. Joey Marella, by the way, Gorilla Monsoon's son, got killed in a car accident. Am I correct?
He did.
And he was a great referee. But Gorilla Monsoon always used to say, hey, you blind referee, you ain't seeing nothing, until Joey became a referee, and then he never
did. He's out of place. He's out of position. Referee out of position.
All right, Rodney.
Number 8, Tommy Weathers.
So yours further on down on our list. I would agree with that. Charles Robertson, by the way, for those of you who do not know Charles Robertson, WWE referee, I believe he refereed for and WCW. That's where he started, wasn't it?
Yep.
At least that's where we saw him at.
Yeah. He started with WCW, and now he's still one of the oldest tenured referees in WWE.
By the way, Terrence Hardy, number 8, Charles Robertson. Same list. He got this almost the same list. All right, number 6, Nick Patrick. I got him down as number 6, by the way, the son of the Masked Assassin. And he refereed, I think he started in 1981. Is that when he started refereeing?
I believe so.
All right, Jack, number 6.
Number 6 is Pee Wee Anderson.
Rodney had him on 10.
Did I miss number 7?
Did I get you number 7? So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, number 7 is Tommy Young.
Did I miss number 7? Did I not go on 7?
I think you said 7, and then told me
7 was Jerry Calhoun. 7, Jerry Calhoun.
All right. Tommy Young for me on number 7.
Rodney, number 7.
Rodney, you gonna throw one out there?
Yes. Roy George.
Roy George was a good referee. Roy George, by the way, refereed for Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Continental Championship Wrestling, Continental Wrestling Federation, and went to Mid-South Wrestling for a very short time. All right, so where are we at now?
Number 6.
Number 6, I said Nick Patrick. All right.
And number 6 for me, Pee Wee Anderson.
Rodney?
Tommy Young.
All right, number 5, Scrappy McGuire was in my number 5 spot.
Number 5 for me was Mark Curtis.
Number 5, is that where we're at? Number 5, Larry Brock.
Larry Brock got he's way down on your list, Rodney. I noticed that.
Now these sent a check.
That is number 5.
Charles Bellflower said number 8. His number 8 was Leo Garibaldi. I don't know if I ever saw him referee, but I heard he was a great booker. Number 7, Charles said Bobby Simmons. I did not have Bobby Simmons on my list. Did anybody have their?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm just going to say from my list encompasses the ones that I'm familiar with during my time frame.
Yes.
Number 6, Charlie Smith. That's what Charles Bellflower had to say. And here is Terrence Hardy. Let me make sure I get his 10. Brian Hefner. 9, Jerry Calhoun. 8, Charles Robertson. 7, Mike Chioda. Is that how you say his last name?
Chioda.
Number 6, Teddy Long. Number 5, David Manning. If I read that right. Number 5, David Manning. All right. Number 4, I have Rodney had he had this. He had a tie. So I'm going to have a tie for number 4, and that is Earl and Dave Hefner. Jack?
I actually have the same.
There you go, Rodney, number 4.
I actually have another tag team combination as well. I have Jerry Calhoun and Charlie Smith.
Charlie Smith. Yes, Charlie Smith. Jack just dropped off all at once.
Jerry Calhoun, Charlie Smith. I'm racking it up here today.
There you go. You're looking for checks. That's what you're looking for.
I've got check marks right here. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Jack. I think we got number 4. You said number 4, Earl Hefner was number 4 on Terrence Hardy's list. So number 3, Ron West. I got him on number 3, the number 3 spot. All right. How about you, Jack?
Number 3 for me is Scrappy McGowan.
Number 3, Scrappy McGowan. Scrappy McGowan, by the way, refereed for Georgia Championship Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling. Very good referee. His father was Charlie McGowan, which worked in the office for Georgia Championship Wrestling for many years. Rodney, what is your number 3?
Number 3, Nick Patrick. I don't believe voting for my own father is correct. I think that's biased, and that would show bias because that would be number 1.
I'll make that for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 2, I have Charlie Smith. Always loved Charlie Smith as a referee. I just thought he was so good. His timing was great. He was always there where he needed to be. I just thought he was great. Charles Bellflower said number 5. His number 5 is Johnny Red Shoes Dugan.
I wonder what color shoes he wore.
I'm pretty sure red shoes. Hey, now that's the guy from Japan, right?
No, I think that's the guy that worked for WWF.
All right, so he had red shoes on?
Yeah, there is a red shoes. in Japan also.
I'm going to tell you, though, I have to give an honorable mention real quick to the little guy that used to referee in New York,
Yes,
and he would
okay.
count like this. You remember seeing him on tapes?
Yeah, he's awesome. I like that guy.
So Dad would,
And
he'd
when they
get there and
jumped
he'd
on
do
him,
that.
he would have that look on his face like of terror, but at the same time standing his ground. I liked him.
What was by the way, before we get, what was the name of the referee that refereed for years for AWA, and I think he also refereed for WWE?
LaRusha?
No, he I think he was a kind of a balding guy,
Not me.
and he refereed a lot of matches at that time. He did a lot of stuff for AWA, American Wrestling Association.
All of your
Always liked
hints
him.
leads us nowhere, by the way. You
Well,
don't in the match
I'll
in, you
figure
don't
it
tell
out.
what
I'll
kind of
figure it
time
out.
frame it is, or nothing like that.
All right, did y'all get
We
the
have
number?
number
Did anybody else get the number 2? Charlie,
We have
Uh,
not done number 2 yet.
Let's do number 2.
number 2. I said Charlie Smith. Jack,
Number 2 for me, Nick Patrick.
that's right. That's you. You already told me. All right, Rodney.
And number 2 for me, Scrappy McGowan.
Yes, very good referee.
I bet our number 1 is all the same.
Number 4. Charles Bellflower had Scrappy McGowan. Number 1 on my list, Tommy Young. Jack,
Ron West.
all right. Rodney,
Paul Morton.
Paul Morton. Yes,
Paul Morton,
Don't
number
forget
1.
about Paul Morton. Charles Bellflower said number 2, Ron West. Number 1, Tommy Young. I give Tommy Young. I think he was very good at what he did.
He did.
He was always there. He always was. He didn't miss the finishes, and if he did, he knew how to get around them. He'd even slide out of the ring sometimes just to be able to get his count. Yeah. So,
I think that anyone mentioned either by us or the viewers or whoever tonight, you couldn't go wrong with the number 1 spot with any of those people.
no.
I mean, those guys were
They're completely
the cream of the crop.
interchangeable.
Bill Alfonso, Terrence Hardy said Bill Alfonso was number 3. Number 2 was Ron West. Number 1, Tommy Young. Pretty good list of people, actually, on that list. And there's so many other referees that we probably hadn't even talked about. But a lot of people don't even know who Larry Brock is. But Larry Brock,
I know Larry Brock, and I don't even know who he is.
Larry Brock, though, if you watch any Southeastern Continental, you're going to see Larry Brock on it at some point. One of the most hated men in Dothan, Alabama.
Yes.
Let me ask y'all this: when we look at referees, when we're talking about great referees or top 10 referees in the wrestling business, what makes a good referee, Jack?
His ability to help in that match. If one thing I learned from your dad was that if you get lost in there, if what you're doing is not working, a really good referee can set you in the right direction. And there's been several times that I was in there with Dad and things just weren't working. And he would start calling stuff and telling us to do stuff. And man, it changed my whole mindset of what a referee was supposed to do. And you can't hardly find those anymore.
Rodney?
Yes, exactly. The same exact thing Jack was talking about. Any of the people we talked about could change the gears in the match and really should been when the referee said something or could overrule anything that was going on because they were stepping back and they were seeing things that weren't working. Sure.
When we look at some of these referees, they're probably only going to be known on a localized area. Jerry Calhoun probably is not going to be recognized around the world, but especially in that Memphis territory, he was there for many, many years. So was Paul Morton. And Paul was an ex-professional wrestler. He is the father of Ricky Morton. To me, those type of guys, when you were a wrestler first, it even made you a better referee because you really knew where you needed to be, what you needed to do, and Paul Morton was very good at that. There was a local referee. He may have refereed Tommy Sloan. Y'all remember
Tommy Sloan? Yes.
Chattanooga, Tennessee? Did he referee the whole territory for Nick Gulas?
I believe he did.
Referee Chattanooga.
I believe he did.
He was a good referee. Got a little mad every time Dad would have to come to Chattanooga for some reason. I don't know why. Just every time he'd get a little sore because they was going to put Dad in the main event, referee the main event matches, and he did not like that. But what he didn't understand, Tommy wasn't in the office. So that's the thing. When you're in the office, you put yourself in the main event. Let's talk about Nick Patrick just for a moment. Nick Patrick started refereeing in Georgia. Did he try to wrestle first?
He did.
Where did he try to wrestle at? Because I know it wasn't Georgia.
Well, they had Deep South going, at that time when he started, and he was the top star, top baby face there. And I think he was really good, but he blew his knee out. I think it's just a continual deal of the knee problems he never could get over, and it was just easier on him to be a referee, and he could still make a living.
I think Nick Patrick, though, he started refereeing in 1981, and Deep South wasn't going on at the time, I don't believe.
No.
So it was 1981. So that
he could have started as a referee and then became,
because I remember in 1985 he came to Continental. I remember that. I do remember him doing the referee. But Nick was very good. He was one of the people that our father helped a little bit become a referee, as well as Scrappy McGallion, and actually Earl and Dave Hafner actually helped them as well become referees. They were helping put up the ring. And was it in Baltimore or in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio, Rodney?
It was in Ohio, I believe.
Columbus, Ohio, or one of those towns. And he started letting them referee matches there. So just great referees. Anything we need to talk about
anytime you watch Scrappy, you can tell Dad's influence. Anytime you watched him referee, you could tell his influence. That's the reason he was my number 2. Bias will eventually work its way in.
Another guy that's not wasn't on any of our list. Charles Bellfowler said number 3 was Nick Patrick on his list. Mm-hmm. Another guy that Doug Smith. Y'all remember Doug Smith from? Right. He was a pretty good referee for that time, and we can't ever forget Teddy Long was a great referee. Mm-hmm. Yep. And, he didn't make any of our lists, but he did make Terrence's list. He was actually, it looks like number 7, I believe. And Teddy Long was – I personally think Teddy Long was a better manager than he was a referee, though. I think he fit that. I think he fit being a manager. Anything we need to talk about?
We're leaving out Sonny Fargo. You got Sonny Fargo. We didn't put in there either.
We literally could do a top 100 of referees.
Sure, we sure could.
I mean, there's just so many that.
And I'm surprised by Jack's list that Bronco Lupich was not in there.
Well, and my one requirement was that you actually had to get down on the mat to do the 3 count.
You couldn't stomp your feet. 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you another referee that did the same thing. It was either Dick the Bruiser or it was the Crusher. I'm not for sure which one.
Dick the Bruiser. Yeah.
Man, that guy had some hard time getting down there.
Charles has a good one. Stu Swartz for sure.
Yeah.
Stu Swartz.
Stu's still with us too.
Yeah, Stu was very good. Stu actually wrestled prior to being a referee, though, didn't he?
I believe so.
Very good. There's so many referees. There are probably ones and that Juice DeRusha, what Ronnie was talking about, they call him Juice DeRusha because he always did. But I'm still trying to think. Somebody out there's got to know the name of the referee that refereed all the big matches in the WWE, WWF. He was. I've got to look that up. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
You're talking about AWA, wasn't it? I thought it was AWA. Now you've confused me.
He did it both because he was a commission referee. He was not an actual employee of WB or AWA. He was a commission referee. And at first it was AWA. And then I think after AWA closed, he actually went there, and I think he might have also refereed some boxing matches as well.
I know who you're talking about now, but I cannot think of his name. But I know who you're talking about. He refereed a lot at Madison Square Garden.
Yes. Great referee. And I just don't, he would have made my list if I could remember what his name was. I just don't remember the guy's name. It'll come to me. It'll be right after we do this program. That guy's coming, but he was good too. He always was involved. They always had him involved with and he would get knocked down. And there was an older guy that used to referee for WWE, and the wind would knock him down, and he would be down for hours. You remember the guy? It was an older guy in the WWE, and he always said, Mills Lane. Mills Lane is a referee that refereed mostly boxing.
Dick Worley is exactly. Terrence got it. Yes, Dick Worley. Yeah, you're exactly right.
I thought he was a tremendous referee.
Would that have been your number one list?
No, he wouldn't have been my number one, but he would have probably been
your mention
because he was very good.
Al DeRusha.
Al DeRusha was Juice DeRusha, they used to call him, because he'd always get hit, bleed. I don't know. I don't know why they allowed him.
He wore headbands. I mean, he wore armbands.
He did.
It's very stylish.
Somebody that we didn't talk about on here, and probably needs to be in there as well, was Brian Hildebrand, Mark Curtis.
Yeah, I brought him up. He was on my list.
He was so good. He was so good and loved the wrestling business. Yeah. It wasn't just a situation of refereeing. He loved the wrestling business. Him and Jim Cornette kind of grew up together, and they used to go and watch wrestling together. And that's how they became friends as kids watching wrestling. Mills Lane, Charles, that was the referee that did mostly the boxing matches. But he kind of looked like a Dick guy. But I just remember him doing all the big matches. That was the referee for all the big matches, and he was actually he didn't really work for a company. He just worked for the Athletic Commission. But I think they knew that they could get him in on the finishes and stuff. Because it's never worse than having a referee that can't remember the finish. Yeah. All right, Rodney, we're going to have to move on. But any lasting comments or ending comments about professional wrestling referee?
I think that my number one was absolutely stellar. Everybody else's was obviously number two.
Jack?
I'm going to miss Rodney when he comes. If he keeps this up, I'm going to kill him.
All right, folks, if you enjoyed this video, I want to thank the insiders. Victor Nash also sent us a top 10 list, and I will put it down below. One of our supporters as well, and we'll let everybody know that. We thank you so much. We thank the supporters. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And hey, by the way, supporters, if you want to be a supporter, you can be right here, and you can do some of our top 10 lists and other things that we're going to do in the future. If you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up, subscribe to the page, go one step further, hit that notification bell, and share the video. We'll see you on the next video.